Hello students, welcome, and let's talk about your research proposal. So this is going to be your first structured assignment in getting you to your final research paper. The research proposal is probably one of the most important things that you're going to do this term because it's going to set the tone and the pace and your subject matter for your final research paper. So I kind of want to go over it just a little bit so you have an idea of what I am looking for. And also resources and tools that you can use to ensure that you successfully complete this assignment, okay? So first and foremost, we are going to start here at the very top and focus on what your research proposal requirements are. I'm going to go over the limitations in a minute, okay? So it is going to be a 200 to 300 word document. So I mean, I want it in a Word document. Don't just post it into the assignment, okay? It needs to be in a Word document, okay? And it's going to first give you a brief explanation of what your topic is. So that means if you've decided that you were going to write on maybe the Homestead Steel Strike, please don't write on the Homestead Steel Strike, it's heavily covered, but just to give you an example, Homestead Steel Strike, you would go over and explain the main people that you would be covering in the Homestead Steel Strike, the reasons behind the Homestead Steel Strike, the causes and the effects. So you're going to give a brief explanation of all of those things, and you're going to clearly articulate that and talk about why it is historically relevant. In this case, I put historically unique because your goal is to avoid writing on a well-covered historical topic. Remember, that's one of the key things that I have pointed out multiple times in this assignment, and I will continue to do so, that you need to go outside traditional historical sources or areas that are covered throughout this course. You can look at something and find that something that's historically interesting, but then try to narrow that topic down or find something unique that has not been covered, okay? The second thing is you're going to submit an initial thesis statement. You're going to outline your main argument or perspective, okay? So your thesis statement needs to talk about what you intend to have your research project on. That's all the thesis statement is. Now, don't get frustrated if I reject your initial thesis statement or I ask you to change it. Why do I mention this? When I wrote my master's thesis, I had my thesis statement rejected 10 different times by my professor. Now, am I going to reject yours 10 different times? No, I'm not going to do that. I don't find it fun. I will instead focus on how we could narrow the topic or improve the thesis statement if I don't agree with your initial thesis statement, okay? So I'm not going to leave you hanging, but make sure that you are thinking of something unique and different and outside, again, well-covered historical subjects or subject matter. That's our goal here, because I'm really trying to teach you to do personal research that you're going to have to do some work on, some effort. It's not going to be easy just to grab a topic, grab a couple books from the library, and rock and roll on this one. We're going to make sure we're doing a little bit of research on this, okay? You can optionally add to the assignment why you want to research this topic, okay? This would be outside the norms of academic research. I just personally think it would be interesting to find out what makes you drawn to the subject if you feel so, if you feel that you want to give an explanation or want to discuss it. Often this can show personal interest. It also can help me adapt research, or it can help me improve your research by kind of guiding you through how to use that. Also, more often than not, if you find something that's personally interesting to you, you tend to dedicate more time and energy to it because you actually care about it. Okay. Also, you can discuss any challenges you might face during this research process. More often than not, when we are doing like professional research in college, our professors often ask us, what do you think are going to be problems trying to research this? You, as a researcher, need to be able to identify some of the limitations that might be presented. Often those limitations are ability to travel. That's usually what most researchers run into, where they might want to study something that's happening maybe like in Northwest Pennsylvania, yet they live in South Florida. having access to actually get to those locations might prove difficult for the researcher. Again, you don't necessarily have to add that, but again, if you're struggling to meet the minimum word requirements, these are all things that I can direct you to help improve your research. Now, a couple things just to make sure you are once again well aware of these facts. First and foremost, everything that we are researching and studying is an American historical topic. That's key, American historical topic from 1877 to the modern era, okay? That means you cannot write on something that does not directly involve American history. So if for some reason you wanted to write about like the rape of Nanking, that's not going to work because it is not an American historical topic. That is a Chinese, Japanese, World War II topic. And while that may fall into World War II, may fall into the overarching history of the United States, we are focused on America-specific, American-centric topics. Once again, it's an American history class. Second, if you do a biography, which means you tell me from when this person was born, these events happened until they died, that is a biographical paper. If you decide to write that, it will be an automatic C. That's where I start my grading at. I started at a C and then it goes down from there. Do not do biographies. If you want to write about a person, you need to write about a specific moment or event in their life or action that they took or movement they inspired, and that's acceptable. However, I do not want a long, winding biography, mainly because you cannot truly cover a biography of a person in 10 to 15 pages. Biographical works in history are 500 plus pages typically, okay? Also, well covered topics. That's once again one of the other things you cannot be writing on, because if I can go and do a quick search and there's a Wikipedia, detailed Wikipedia entry on it, a detailedhistory.com paper on it or writing on it, or there's dozens of academic papers on the exact same subject, that is going to again cap you at a highest grade of a C. You need to be really unique, trying to find a unique search idea or platform or subject matter in order to go. And I know many of you think that this is hard. It is not really that hard. It's just slightly deviate off the well-worn path and you will find a lot of things to write about, trust me. I have done it many times myself, where I thought to myself, there's no way I can write a unique subject, a unique paper on the subject matter, and then within about 10-20 minutes of actual spending time finding a unique element of it, I find it and then I go off on there and I start doing my research. Okay, so make sure that you are taking the time to pick your topic. Make sure that it is unique and different. Do a quick search on the internet, on YouTube, other places where you may find a lot of information on this topic, and be like, yeah, this is too broad or too general of its subject matter. Don't try to write on well-covered topics. Also, like, don't try to write an entire paper on World War II. You can't write a paper on World War II in 10 to 15 pages. It's too big of a subject. I have Winston Churchill's complete works on World War II. It's like a 7-volume set on World War II. It's probably 3,000 to 4,000 pages in writing. I mean, you can't cover the scope of that war in such a limited area or paper. Even most major battles of World War II or World War I or any major war cannot be effectively covered in a short paper. Okay, try to really narrow down where you are, what you are interested in, what you want to focus in on, somebody that might be important to you. Look at those different things and then really try to get down to doing the research. Don't use the AI platforms. I know it is tempting to use AI. It always is. It's not going to help you, and AI writes in a very specific way that it's easy for your professor to know that you're using AI, okay? Please don't do that. Don't take shortcuts. Do the work. What I'm trying to do is make you a better student overall, okay? So make sure you are just taking the time to do this. Now, lastly, the big thing that most people kind of get annoyed by is that this is a fast turnaround assignment. All of your research assignments are going to have a very tight timeline of when I need them by, because in order for me to be able to approve your topic and have you move forward and be effective in writing this paper, you can't get behind on these assignments. It means you cannot do them all within the last 3 weeks of school and do well in my class, okay? There's too much reading involved in my class for you to try to do that anyways. So make sure that you get this done, hopefully by the end of this week. If you cannot, make sure you get it done by at the latest week 4, because after week 4 I will not take papers. Okay, because you should already be ready to progress towards the next portion of this. Every 2 weeks you're going to have a new assignment that is focused on improving and extending your research. You do not have the time frames to be able to stop and try to catch up on this stuff. So make sure that you are engaged and involved in this. All right. If you have questions, let me know. Send me an email. I apologize if I was a little late on some of my emails. This new 2-step authenticator program, for some reason it nuked my email system here that I use on my computer, and I didn't notice an issue with it until about a couple days ago. So if I have been delayed, I am emailing and responding now. It looks like everything is up and running just fine again. All right, good luck on the research proposal. If you are lost, please do not wait till Friday night to send me messages being like, I don't know what to do. Okay, by that point, if it's Friday night and you're asking me that, you're probably too late to get effective feedback from me to help you out. Okay, try to do it early in the week if you are lost or if you are struggling. However, even if it does get down to that 0 hour, do not be afraid. Reach out to me so that I can try to give you some support and some assistance on this assignment. I don't want you to get bogged down and then fail or not submit it because you're worried about it. Also, some people may have not noticed this. I'm going to give you a hint now. If you look at the research proposal and you scroll down, you will notice that I have the rubric right below here. Okay, these are what I am looking specifically for when it comes to me giving you a grade for this assignment. If you hit the key things on here, you will get the highest points that will be able to be awarded, okay, or in the highest bracket of points awarded. I'm not going to promise that I will give you perfect scores and everything, because I almost never do. But if you follow this rubric and you hit the key points that are in the advanced sections, you'll get the points that are included in the advanced sections. Okay, the rubrics are your friend in this course. I will follow the rubrics when grading because this is my grading blueprint, and it's a way for you to know what I am looking for. That way you are not confused as to why your grade is the way it is. I make sure I include a detailed section for you, okay? All right, I hope this helps you out, and I hope that you are ready to write a wonderful research proposal. And again, if you need help, feel free to reach out. I will help you through the process.